Good evening, welcome once again. Thank you very much for joining us on Torah Delights. It's always a pleasure, I appreciate it. We're up to Parshas Vayechi, and it's my Shabat Sufruf. It was 21 years ago, so mazel tov to me. It's also the aftermath of the siyum hashas, which a little bit more about later in Manchester, which was absolutely fantastic. We'll say a little bit about that later. We'll tie it in with one of the divrei torah I want to say. Sedra Parshas is where the material is taken from this week, the courtesy of meilich biederman. I'll just say three vort, which I hope you'll enjoy and pass on and share and be inspired by. Parshas Vayechi. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim. Famous Rashi. Vayechi and Yaakov lived be'eretz Mitzrayim. But Rashi Parsha zu stuma. It's a parsha stuma. Lefisha nistanu eineim v'libum shel Yisrael. It's a closed parsha. Why? Lefisha nistanu eineim v'libum shel Yisrael mitzvos Shabat. The eyes and the hearts of Israel were closed from the sorrows of the Shabat. So what does that mean? Shabat Parshas. What does it mean? Parsha is sosum is closed. So he explains. Shabat Parshas Hatayra yesh bein parsha the parsha revach shakama oisius. Between most parshas, other parshas in the Torah, between each parsha, one parsha finishing, one parsha ending, there's a space of a few lines, few words called nai cholok, of space, literally space, where nothing's written there, and that separates one parsha. V'kanhi parsha stuma. This parsha, Parshas Vayechi, if you look, is a parsha stuma. What does that mean? In the place where it's empty, there isn't any space. It straight away goes into Vayechi Yaakov. So what's that all about? What's the Torah telling us by what's Rashi telling us by the fact that this is parsha stuma? So Yeshu Rimzu, it's a remiss in this. Ki lepomim nira laodam sheparsha stuma b'olov. Many times a person feels that parsha stuma, a closed parsha, a difficult time, nisyonis kosher marim odu alel, hard times, rachmallah aleinu, he feels are coming on him. The stomach his heart is closed, his heart, he can't see in front of him. He can't see whether he should turn in the yamin small to left or right or left. Skashem ba'adoi. Sogashem ba'adoi. Yoda, he should know. Shekol ze'ena el adimyan ba'alma. This is only a dimyan. It's an appearance. It appears like that. Ki apia Torah som nichtov. That what does the Torah write when it's a parshas? When it's a parshas nistam l'shmaramas hard times. V'chi Yaakov. Yaakov lived. Ki kol zeh hoy l'chazika l'chiyusav oishel chovod. Ki kol zeh hoy l'chazika l'chiyusav oishel chovod. Yaakov lived. It's telling you that even though this is a parsha stuma and it's things may be hard, none of Yaakov lived. That's maramas. That person should never give up. It's mechazik him to live we know the last years of Yaakov's life were a period of time where he lived we lived with respect and with Yishuv Das. Person should mechazik with emunah shleima, heartfelt emunah, even though he doesn't understand Hashem's actions with him, he should understand that it is for his good, even though he doesn't understand it, and that's Maramas V'chi Yaakov. And Yaakov lived, that's Maramas, even though it came at the part of Parshas Stuma, that's Maramas, the person should never give up, and he should always be hopeful, and that what's happening to him, even if he doesn't understand, is ultimately l'tovasei. I want to say another vort near the end of the Sedra. It says, Oid Matzina Be'inin HaZehiros B'chovod Ra'ehu. I think we touched on this last week, and we'll talk a bit more. Torah, especially Parshas Bereshis, is full of the stories of the Avos HaKadoshim, is to Maramas give us life lessons of how we should live our lives. And this is yet another example of this. We see B'divrei Acham, the Helig Aracham HaKadosh brings down. Shemaksha, it's hard to understand. Ma'adu lechosh Yosef atzah oviv. Yosef has Yosef Asadik. Why didn't Yosef think about the size causing his father? During the 22 years, that he was distant from his father. Lo shalach igeres. He didn't send him a letter, like dia ki oidia to tell his father that he's alive. Why didn't he do that? So you can understand. Bishloim beyoyis ever bebeis Potiphar b'chol shkein acham akach shkol beis asurim. Can understand this in Potiphar's house. He didn't have the luxury to write letters, to be able to the freedom to be able to send letters, and certainly not when he was a beis asurim in prison. He couldn't do it. It wasn't like now he can send an email or a text. It wasn't. It was a lot harder then. Abu Masha'Allah al-Gadullah, when he became a king, and he became a viceroy, and he became a powerful person in Mitzrayim, the Yosha Kisah Malchus, and he was on the Chesed Malchus. Why then didn't he? Okay, he couldn't do it when he was in prison within Potiphar. He could have done it when he became king. That wasn't beyond the realms of possibility. Why didn't he announce to his father, Ich bin du, I'm here, Mitzrayim, don't worry about me. Listen, head see to the Orach Chaim. The Orach Chaim says like this: Shechosh al kavod olchiv. Yosef was worried about the kavod of his brothers. Melevashtem lifnei Yaakov v'chol. He knew that if he sent a letter, there would be questions would be asked, and Yosef made the cheshbon that he'd rather not embarrass his brothers than to show perceived lack of kivdov aim for his father. That was his cheshbon. So therefore he made the cheshbon better than my brothers don't be embarrassed, then the father remains in tsar. And we've already said, better a person should put himself into chivshin, a fiery furnace, rather than embarrass a friend. And further, and even Shekava Yored, I think I might have said this last, I didn't say it was from, even Shekava Yored Yaakov and Mitzrayim. What happened after the years? Yaakov went down to Mitzrayim, and he lived there 17 years. So listen, this is a chiddush nifla. Hari b'chol oisa hashonim, during all those 17 years, lo nichnas Yosef eitzel oviv. That's in Pesikta Rapsi Pei Gimel Yud. Yosef didn't go and visit his father. And Yosef a Tzaddik, not that he didn't know Kivdov Aim. Why didn't he go? And it wasn't far. Goshen wasn't far from Mitzrayim. Shema Yishelohu Oides HaMechira V'Yodea Koloina Shel Ochiv L'Oviv. He knew that if he went down to visit his father would be within his rights to ask Yosef, "Vusas Gashem," from the citizen, what happened during those years? Why didn't you appear to me? And he knew that it would involve difficult questions which have to answer concerning his brothers. When Yaakov had his last illness, he had to call to Yosef because he hadn't been there for 17 years. He was rather, even though his father was so close, he didn't go down for the same reason. He didn't want to embarrass his brother. That's the lesson we learned from Yosef HaSadik, of not embarrassing anyone. I want to finish off in the last Perek Zayin, Mem Zayin Pasuk Chavches. V'chi Yaakov en Mitzrayim Shev Esrei Shana. We just said Yaakov lived in Mitzrayim 17 years. Kosev Orach Chaim. The Orach Chaim is beautiful. Dihinei kol shana is chayav shel Yaakov from Elaim b'rafidus usah. The whole of Yaakov's life till that point was filled with redifus with Redifus being chased, pursued, and pain. The Yad Kishnoided Lahali Yosef connected. Yosef was born. Dina Yosef. The last 17 years they were lives when he could live and not before them. So Hiksha the Semach Tzedek the Ziknaya Balatanya. The Semach Tzedek asked to Zayda the Balatanya. Keitzad Nitin Loima Sheshonim Eile Shoyb Mitzrayim. How could it be that these years in Mitzrayim were Makoizu Humas Tumah, which were the pinnacle of Tumah? How could it be that these years of Yaakov's life, the 17 years when he lived in the Tumah Mitzrayim, these were what he called the Meitav Chayav, the best years of his life? And he answered, the Balatanya answered to his Einikel. Shahari Pilshe Chazal. Chazal explained, and above, as Yehuda, we mentioned it last week as well, Yehuda Sholach Lefonav Al Yosef Loides Goshna. Yehuda went in front to Yosef, l'hoiris goishna. What does that mean? The second by base of Talmud, shemishon teitze Torah, shemzit Torah, to masakin the base of Talmud, and that base Torah would come out from there. This is the vort by Sir. In yesh Torah, if there's Torah, oz nitzen lechiyes afilu be'eretz Mitzrayim. If there's Torah, then this person can live even in Mitzrayim, even a place like Mitzrayim. And I want to tie this in. We had zeicha to the siyum hashas. I wasn't zeicha to have learnt the shas, to learn shas. I mean, I have learnt it before. I wasn't zeicha this cycle to make a siyum on it. I've taken on the inspiration I got from the Dishes Siyum in Manchester to start doing it, and Baruch Hashem I'm up to Daf Hey, and it should continue. But this is, people compared the Siyum to, we haven't had any experience of what Ma'amad HaSinai. This is the closest that we can understand of the Yidden accepting the Torah, and we cannot understand there was 92,000 Yidden in MetLife Stadium in America, 10,000 in Barclays Center. There were about 10,000 Yidden in London, in Wembley Arena, about 3,000 Yidden in the Divrei Siyum in Manchester. What a Kiddush Hashem, not only for the amount of learning that's been done, but the Achdus Shona, the siyumim of Yidden coming together, dancing together, dancing together, even people who did learn, people who didn't learn, and what an encouragement it is for us to see what they've achieved and to try and emulate it. And what we can do, if we can learn Daf Yomi, if we can learn Omad Yomi, you can learn a half an Omad Yomi, a line of Gemara, whatever it is, learn Torah is the best of schayra, as we always say. We see from the Sedra, that's what keeps us going in Golas. We survived in Golas for thousands of years. How did we survive? We don't have the base of meilich through Torah. Torah is the only way that we can survive, and we have survived. I want to wish you a lovely Shabbos. As always, please pass it on. I very rarely get any feedback, or in fact I've never got any feedback. coach@podcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, what you think, what you do like, what you don't like. Please tell me, it gives me a chizuk. I wish you good Shabbos, and thank you for listening.